Good morning and welcome to the Moopsyverse. I'm here, kind of. Chris is definitely here. Chris must have had
I'm
more
kind of
coffee.
here.
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm half awake.
Oh, I'm definitely
I'm
not half
glad that
awake. I'm not even close
today's
to half
work
awake.
day isn't hard, so I'm not dying, but oh my god.
Good morning, Satalia. Satalia's not here either. Class didn't even start till like 6:45 because we were standing around talking, and I'm like, if I have to leave at 7 because with road construction it's taking almost 3 hours to get home. They're like, oh well, we'll
Eee.
we'll just do a little bit, and I still didn't get home till just about midnight. And the last half hour was beyond anything the coffee could do. So I'm barely driving home with coffee. Get home, let the dogs out. Coffee hits, so I'm up till 1 in the morning, trying to get through the coffee, and then up every like 20 minutes throughout the night. So I'm not doing good today. I can see the screen. I can kind of read the words on the screen. That's it. That's all my abilities.
Yeah, I'm not you have to squint. Pardon. I need to squint my eyes to actually see something. Tracer damage ground. How about no?
I have polar
I
run
mean I
damage on
could
the
do
ground.
it, but
Don't I have a...
destroy
That's
both
illegal.
ships, slash Dyson Sphere, destroy Undine ships. Ugh.
Ugh. Ugh.
Well, Dyson Sphere it is. I have to
Oh,
do two things over there.
great. That's great. Let's see.
Holy Lord. Like 30 minutes ago, I was sitting in my chair clicking into something at work, and I literally felt myself fall asleep. And I think I had a dream for 5 minutes, because I remember distinctly that I was dreaming about, I don't know for what reason, but my old apartment.
Yeah?
It was weird, like, it wasn't a well-kept apartment, because it was after my grandma, and I never had the money back then to actually have half the things fixed, so...
So Satala is
Where's the best
asking,
place in that
Zen
hell?
Zenkethi Ground, where's the best place for that?
There's just a mission
Yeah, there's actually a
with
couple of
the
missions where you get
episodes.
Zenkethi.
Yeah.
The one I use is, I know the section, it's adamant, of signs and portents. The first
Yeah,
part, though,
I
is all
see.
space, so I run the space part and just leave it queued up to the Zenkethi part. Brushfire also gives you a bunch of Zenkethi. What else is there? Is it on New
I still don't
Frontiers?
understand why they put Zinkethi into the Endeavors if they are so obscure in the content.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
if
not a
they were,
lot. Renegade's
if
Regret
you,
gives it to you, too.
and that's the thing, you have to know that. It's
Mm-hmm.
so annoying that this TFO doesn't actually tell you where.
Yeah.
It doesn't issue episodes where you will encounter Zinkethi. That is so mean, and that should be completely out of the game. If an endeavor requires you to remember specific two
Yeah.
episodes and like
In a
I don't know over
specific
100
section.
episodes in the game, that's not a good endeavor, and that
Yeah.
endeavor should go
Yeah. Or give us
one
something.
way.
Really quick, Talia, how many do you need to kill? Because I had a thought here. 60. Um,
Oh,
wow.
good
Yeah, that
lord!
that that is the
Reroll is
gods. Yeah,
called for.
yeah. If
I
you
would
don't have
reroll that.
of signs and portents queued up for that section, or if you don't have brushfire queued up for that section, I'd
I
re-roll
see.
it.
I'm not sure if any of those episodes is going to give you like 60 of
Yeah,
them in
signs and portents.
total.
If you go all the way through to the caves, it will. But then you have to
It
redo
will?
the yeah, because on the ground section out in front, it'll go to 30 plus, maybe 40. Then you go into the
Right.
cave and it just launches wave after wave at you. But the problem is it leaves you queued up to that part.
Ah, that's still, I would rather reroll than have to
Hmm.
do that.
Yeah. I'm
I
putting
always
together
ignore
a
Zinket, I never done it.
nice letter to Decca going, hey, We know you've been there
You
for a
know,
couple
not that
months.
you're in charge.
Yeah, but there's a couple things you might not be aware of, and you might want to take a look at. But I'm thinking if you've got
Yeah.
a endeavor, why not have a couple of ways that are easy to get to do it?
And if it's not a viable thing, then maybe not have that endeavor in
Yeah.
the list.
Reroll gave me Vodware Ground. Well, if you've got Kobali available, Vodware Ground is pretty easy.
No, you can go to the Kabali system and
Yeah,
then just
as
shoot.
long as you've done Kobali is the problem. You have to have started it because if you haven't done it, you can't just go there. It won't let you into
That's
it.
another annoying thing. Like they haven't thought about it that not everyone's at the same level of the content,
Yeah,
and you might be at the level of you have endeavors, but you haven't been there in the story, so you have to unlock things first, and that's a
exactly.
tedious thing.
Hey, stay away from my captain. No, 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 that's my captain.
Where the hell are you? Is that
Oh,
Nimbus?
I'm on Nimbus on the ground. I had to do captain for.
I vaguely remember this part of the map. And I mean vaguely, like this looks familiar to a point like I feel like it's from a different game.
Yeah, well,
Although there's a style of this section kind of reminds me of what was it, Jedi Academy?
mm-hmm.
Like a 2000s game. Um, which had very similar graphics to the old STO, like visually. The detail, the polygonal nature of everything, it was very similar to it.
Well, 60 Vodware aren't as bad because you can pick up the Vodware from Kobali almost any place if you've done it. If you haven't done it, then uh, there's another place where you can pick up Kobali. It's an episode. The
Well,
episode
I don't remember the episode.
is.
Don't worry, the table isn't rigged anymore.
Gave me anti-proton in space. Oh, God.
It's not
So much easier.
Revelations.
I still hate that they've nerfed the rerolls. We might actually mention that to them, that there is really no need for that, and that dilithium sync with the rerolls, that they should just drop more favorably. Wow, I just learned that apparently Nintendo has been sitting on Switch 2,
Keep your eyes on the wheel.
which hasn't been announced just like this month,
Mm-hmm.
for 4 years.
4 years.
They have, yeah, they have the chipset and everything. The chipset is dated 2021, which
Okay.
means that the technology is from 2021.
At best, yes.
Yeah, so literally that Switch 2 is already outdated as it's been announced for 4 years. Because they sat on it for business reasons. Hardware breakdown for Switch 2 basically was ready 4 years ago and didn't release it till now. All things point to being done to ensure that it's as cheap as possible for Nintendo, which is I think that Nintendo, to manufacture and price it higher for consumers. So they practically just, sat on it because the old Switch sold well, and they just kind of gated that. It's so annoying. What the hell? I mean, I don't like Nintendo's policies as much as any company. They're kind of the iPhone of the gaming industry. They have their own thing. They do allow ports from other games on their equipment because Nintendo Switch was kind of more open to it. That all comes down like they just maximize profit and nothing else was priority. And if
Yeah, well,
they
that sounds
had
like
the hardware,
Nintendo.
yeah, that sounds like Nintendo. I mean, they were never competing technologically. That is fair to give them that. That they've never actually tried to compete with the big names, big numbers. They never competed with Xbox, Microsoft,
No.
Sony. They were just doing their own thing. Their games were kind of enclosed to and directed and aimed at their fans. So they never actually tried to compete with graphics, visual panache. It was always about just the fun of those games, and that helped these games thrive and be their own self-contained thing, but that number with, tailgating, if you're
Hmm.
just gating that console for 4 years, even though, Switch originally came out like in 2016, 17, I want to say. So the original Switch has been around for many years, and yeah, like it's been crying for an upgrade for a long time, and they just came up with it 2025 after sitting on the chipset for 4 years, and they had it fairly ready, like definitely long before it was announced.
Different priorities.
Yeah.
Natalia needs shield, healing, and space, AP ground,
Oh.
and AP space, which sounds a little bit to me like if she needs her daily event, we could go take care of that. That would give
Uh.
her some AP and
Yeah,
space.
Tholians will kick your butt when it comes to
Hmm.
shield, so that definitely will help in
Yep.
the healing. They're a good target practice, so anti-proton damage is
Yep. And the
well
AP
and
on the ground
encouraged.
shouldn't be a huge problem. I'm just doing
I
some
don't know.
quick pull around on the ground here. I did not do most of my events yesterday because yesterday was really busy.
I
And
didn't
today's going
do
to be
all of.
insanely busy because as I'm driving home, the house painter's like, hey, we're going to start your house tomorrow.
Uh,
Um,
what, my
okay.
good sir?
Well, I mean, we've
You
been
didn't see
waiting
that one
months for the
coming.
weather to get decent enough to happen. This is while I'm in Illinois and in a thunderstorm, and I'm thinking, I don't think you're going to start it today. But okay, they need to come in and wash down everything. But I'm like, can you wait till I get home at noon? Well, if we could start first thing. No, that's going to make the dogs crazy. I can't see that going well at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I was making fun a little bit yesterday with my pupper because when you go out, when you're about to go out, they're excited.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
they they're giddy. They're like all over the place, and I was like trying to get him even more excited and help him let some steam out. Like try to bark. Nope, not a peep. He doesn't
Oh.
want to talk. It's kind of adorable because I think he knew what I meant, but he was like, no, I'm not talking. I'm not making sound. And I know he can bark because I've heard him just like a handful of times during his lifetime with me, but I know he can. It's like, for whatever reason, just doesn't bark. Not even when he's scared, not even when he's excited. He doesn't bark back when a dog barks at him. And they
What's...
might literally be yapping at his
Oh, no,
ear,
mine will yap.
from a millimeter away from that ear, and he will ignore them. I don't know where he's got that strength in him because I know a lot of dogs would just not stand that insult.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just like, no, he's just not making a peep, not a squeak. There's a handful of times he ever barked, and that was for some reason like we were walking right very close to the place where we lived, the apartment block,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just like there was a dog on walking near the street on the horizon. It wasn't even like near us. And my fluffer decided, yes, this is the moment. Woof woof. And I'm like, what happened? I just looked at there's a dog walking, and it was another German Shepherd, and he's like the type of a German Shepherd, kinda, sorta.
My
And I
dogs
was
are
like,
of the, there's
oops.
another dog on my planet. How dare you?
Yeah, and it's like I know a lot of dogs will just go insane for anything that moves and has four legs, even if
Mm-hmm.
it's a cat. And my dog just doesn't make a squeal. Like I don't. It's not like I mind it. It's just like kind of weird that you can't even make him provoke him even like playfully. That bark,
Wee woo?
bark.
Wee woo?
Yeah, we had a wee bit. And now I have done my endeavor on the ground. Ugh. Phaser damage, namely.
Loki is, 10 pounds of fluff, and if the other one starts it, she will stand like 10 feet behind her and go, yeah, me too. Woof, 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 woof.
The
And
other.
now that I've ripped down the fence between me and my neighbor is just laughing because Fifi will go right up to the fence and bark at her, but starting to like her. And Loki will stand up on the deck, up on one of the chairs, and just bark at her from like 20 feet away, going,
Adorable.
yeah.
Yeah, like the other notable time was when we run into boars.
I want you to know my brain went when we run into Borg. I'm
Like
thinking that's an
boars.
interesting neighborhood.
Yeah. The thing is that I live in a part of the town that was in like, kind of speaking Borg terms, assimilated into the city quite late, like around 80s, 90s, sorry, 70s, 80s. And it's literally bordering with part of a nature reserve, which is very near an airport. It's
Oh,
just a small airport that it still has some international flights every now and then. But it never develops because it's just too close to the capital city, so there's no point. Um, but why isn't a Darien Defender here? Go away, this is my point. No, I'm not sharing. Everything went into jellyfish mode.
oh,
There was two of them in this match, so...
so there are, yeah. Well, jellyfish in this one isn't bad since everybody just camps.
Fine, but did he have to come here and camp to my point? I was here first. And he just put his tentacles up like he owns the place. Rude.
Moopsy. Thank you, Sedalia. That's great. Are we doing all Bond movies now?
I mean, some of them are fun. I largely enjoyed the Bond movies
Well, yeah, I like Bond movies.
for what they were.
Hang on, I have to write that
Still
one
like to
down.
watch.
Go ahead.
So anyway, we were just walking. It
Mm-hmm.
was springtime, and the border that kind of cuts off the neighborhood from like just few of the private houses and the uncamped places, then part of the nature reserve is divided by a railway.
Okay.
And they used to cross it. Right now this would be very difficult because they've went through full renovation process on those railways, and they've created like a kind of like a buffer that will be very hard to traverse for boars. So I'm not sure they'll be so eager to come over here anymore. But they've been resettled anyway, so I don't think there are any boars anywhere near us. But they used to be, and they used to come very often, and I was like in the very close vicinity of my old school, which was like my elementary school,
Mm-hmm.
because I moved back into the neighborhood where I was raised. Um, and it was the most bizarre thing because my dog just stopped. It was like frozen stiff, and I wasn't paying attention because it was in my phone. And then suddenly I just look at my dog, and I'm like, "What's the matter?" And he's like standing stiff and looking at something. And I'm like looking at the line of sight where his nose is pointing, and I see a family of boars under an
Oh,
apartment block.
wow.
Yeah, they were just doing their business of sniffing and looking for some food, you know. Sometimes people will throw something out because they have this weird tendency to throw out food leftovers through the window rather than to a trash bin.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask me why. It's a Polish thing because this part of the city used to be like it used to be a village. A village of houses where people had cows and
Okay,
chicken and all
yeah.
this stuff. Like almost farmhouses.
Yeah.
So like I still remember pictures from like the 70s when they were putting up the apartment blocks, and right near them was a cow sitting and just munching the grass. And that was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen because I know the apartment block is like a friend of mine lives there now, but like they had cows over there because not all the people were resettled at the time. And a lot of the people that lived there were just given the chance to get an apartment. And you know, communist times, and everyone was eligible to get an apartment, especially if they were resettled.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them, some of them decided to stay, and you know, those customs kind of stick
Yep.
around. So some people will still tend to do this thing, stuff the old ways. So if they like, I don't know, with a peel, potatoes or apples or anything, they'll just
Yeah.
throw that kind of stuff, throw that out the window. And it's fine as long as you don't have a dog that eats everything. You know? and sometimes it will rot and it'll just cause food poisoning. But never mind. I just saw a family of boars. It was like 2 adults and like 4 little piglets running
Mm-hmm.
around them. It was kind of adorable, but I was like, oh my god, what do I do? What should I just like turn around and what the hell do I do? I ended up I ended up just like walking past and they didn't even pay attention to us, and I don't think unless we really came up to them they would, because they didn't feel threatened in any
Oh,
way.
okay.
They're just doing their thing. They were just sniffing around, just going through the grass, going behind the bushes and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's an interesting morning. And we walked like I don't know, 20, maybe 40 meters away, and then my still seeing them, my dog turns around and puts out a bark. What? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's brave of you.
Yep.
Yeah, now you showed them.
Now
Like,
it's safe.
Jesus, horrible. But like seeing those boars, it was like, what the hell? But that wasn't the end of boars in the neighborhood. I think it was like during the COVID year, because there wasn't a lot of people outside, because you had to have a permit to go outside or have a dog.
Oh, wow.
I
Yeah.
mean, not a permit, but a lot of
Yeah.
people just like self-isolation was kind of imposed on everybody. If you didn't need to go out to the store, and
Mm-hmm.
I still remember lines to the store like a supermarket, because the store was open like until midnight instead of like 8 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so bizarre. Like they were counting how many people are in the store,
Yep.
so people wouldn't meddle. They were counting how many people can get in, and so the lines were piling. And I remember I was one of the few people because I had a dog that I could just walk around and take some fresh air. Everyone was stuck at home, and I was like, yeah, I can walk around. I have a special permit because I have a special need animal. Kind of funny. But yeah, that was then when there was not a lot of people, and we had a kindergarten. We still do. And there was a big affair with boys were around that kindergarten, and they went and somehow they went through the fencing. I don't know how. I was pretty sure it was sealed off, but they somehow managed to get in there. They were just going through stuff in the garden of that kindergarten, and
Wow.
people panicked. There was a big affair because that was very close to.
Well,
I think it was
people
still.
always panic.
Yeah, I mean, those boys didn't do anything. Didn't even do any property damage because they were going through grass. That wasn't really even looked after. It was just grass with some leaves on it. It was nothing. It was I think in February or March. But they made a big deal out of it,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was like animal services involved and like the forest services involved, and they cut them all up and they moved them somewhere far away from the city so they wouldn't be able to track back. And I don't think we've seen a lot of like traces of their activity. I think they moved them all out from the entire area.
Oh, wow.
So now we might occasionally get a deer or a hare, but or a bunny rabbit, but nothing else like birds. But yeah, boars are no longer in the equation, at least from what I've seen. I haven't seen any evidence of them being anywhere around, so kind of sad because I like seeing them from a distance. I think they're kind of cute. And unless they're disturbed, they won't be bothered with you anyway. So they need to feel threatened to actually act that you were here around. But everyone just panics. You have to jump in a tree, boars are coming. And I'm like,
Well, they
yeah, because they're
can be.
vicious.
They can be.
I mean, I know they can be, but that's only when they feel threatened.
Yeah.
And they weren't in their own element anyway. So I don't think that anything would have happened in my neighborhood. If I came up with my dog up to them so he could sniff them, they would probably react. But
Yeah.
he was on a leash. He had no interest in coming up to them. He was just patiently and carefully watching them from a distance. He didn't growl. He didn't do anything. They just ignored us, and we were like, I don't know, 100 feet away from them. So that was very close. Still, that was very far, but still, they just didn't care. It was kind of funny. I still remember my dog completely missing a hair. He was just too fast for him. Oh, my dog never noticed. Another dog saw it and then ran off for it, but my dog was just like, what happened? What was that? It was like, that was a bunny? You missed a bunny?
don't have...
Moopsy!
Good morning,
Uh,
Moopsy.
Good morning.
Aw,
How are
it's a
you?
Moopsy.
Yes, it's a Moopsy. Moopsensy?
Moops.
Moopsin.
Oh, Lord.
Musy.
Moopsin.
Moopsy.
Lol. Moopsin.
For once, there's not that many
I just had a tarantula.
torpedoes here.
vaporized it.
I'm just...
So I missed a few streams.
Yeah, I missed
Yeah,
it.
just a few.
I was so tired. It's been so warm, and I've been taking the doggo out. I'm just too
You have
tired
any
to
like-
stay awake.
I am exhausted, but it's my own dang fault.
Yeah, it got really hot here.
It's been nice here just because we've been getting rain,
We're-
so it's been keeping it reasonably cool. So
We're
pleasant.
getting like above average temperatures and incredible lengthy like drought. Hmm.
Drought is a thing I can understand because we've had a
But-
drought for like years, but
Because I live in Amsterdam with all the canals and stuff.
Yeah.
The humidity in Amsterdam itself is actually reasonably high, making it pretty unbearable to be out in the afternoon.
Ooh.
oh god, yeah.
Yeah, the humidity here in about a month is going to be awful, but I don't like running the air conditioner. I just don't like spending the money to stay that way. I don't mind sweating.
It's not even properly summer yet.
No,
And
it's
we're
not.
getting temperatures that were like the height of summer in my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, global warming ain't real. No, nope. Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, definitely, it's a thing.
I am quite impressed with your fleet. The
It's
Tholians
definitely
were
a thing.
abandoning their
Terrans,
races and
Terrans,
taking
Terrans,
the
Terrans.
remaining ships
By the way, for all of you in the strike group, Dante texted me while I was driving home last night, or when I got home, like at midnight. Can you start up the dilithium boost? So if you're in the Klingon or Federation strike group, the dilithium boost is on, because that's as awake as I am today. And when we are done here, I'm going back to bed for a while. I do this for you folks.
And that's appreciated effort.
I really can't see. My eyes are so bad at the moment. I have to rethink how I'm going to do classes because I think I'm endangering my life by trying to do this late night drive. Some days it's fine. Some days I can zip home and I'm not exhausted. And then there's days like today when it's just, nothing. I got nothing in the tank. I do not need any more of that. I just need money now. There we go.
Who doesn't? I mean, what?
I have all these salvageable things, but I've already got 139,000 in the salvage pile, so don't really need
Yay!
much more.
I reached 20 million.
Yay! Of what?
I'm curious how much salvage I have. What do you have?
20
at?
million contribution to the
Oh.
leaderboard on the colony, the fleet I'm doing.
Hey, Satella, you
44
can
down.
DM me as much as you want after the stream. I'm not going to be answering is probably the bigger thing. It will be... I have to be at the gym at 10, which means I have to leave here at 9, which means somewhere between now and then I have to feed the dogs, let them out, and then go back to bed for an hour. So, yeah, I got to get at least an hour.
Well, I shall hope I'm getting this one critical, finally.
Okay, Chris, what have you got? Musin, what have you got? Satali, I assume you got your shield healing in your AP space.
Well, I just have 30 Voth ships in the Dyson sphere.
Ugh.
Which I'm about to do because I'm in the Dyson sphere right now. So,
Do you want me to come help you, or
stuff.
are you okay on your own?
I don't need to drag you into this. I mean, the zone is just about to complete itself, and this is just the only instance. It's gonna take me half a day now. So yeah.
Don't forget the
we can do something
exciting
else.
dance competition down here on Nimbus.
I remember to ignore it. Yes.
Yeah, but it's 30 seconds of your life for
No, I'm
hopefully
sorry.
something
It's Star
decent.
Trek. I'm not dancing. Star Trek is about science fiction starships. I'm not gonna freaking dance, even if it's for energy credits.
But you could be liaisoning with foreign people of possibly attractiveness. Let's see what we got
Why
here.
would I want that?
Because it's Star Trek, and if it was Kirk, would Kirk go dancing with if there was a chance to get with somebody? Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, he
there's a
would.
reason why Kirk is not my favorite captain, and that's his eagerness to do just that.
Trying to
Just
see where
no,
we're at here.
absolutely no.
Come on, where's my brain? Dance competition. Oh, Wednesday is mine dilithium at the Vlugta asteroid field. Again, something you can
Another one
do
to
in
ignore,
advance and just turn it in at your convenience. I'm
or
gonna wait
ignore
for,
it, like I did.
or ignore.
I
Yeah,
have never mind. Never mind dilithium. No, I lied. I went there once because someone showed it to me, and I was like, okay, that goes to the
yeah. No,
checklist of
it
never
takes
doing that again.
too long to do it that way. There's got to be better ways, and it's 500 on Dabo at Quarks for the weekend, so it's a nice, easy weekend.
Moopsy recruitment event? What, you're gonna recruit Moopsies? Is that what you
I don't know.
mean?
You do a recruitment, you get past the 3, and you get a Moopsy combat toy. How's that? Make the Moopsy the reward.
Oh god, I would go for it. Like, if they made me mine, I'd look to asteroids for a month, I would do it if it would reward me a Moopsy.
Let's see.
Yeah, combat Moopsy though. Has to be combat Moopsy or it's not a good one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No other option. It's just...
I'm going someplace. If you get a hint to come along, ignore it.
Yeah, I got a prompt that.
Yeah, ignore any prompts that come from me.
Speaking of adorableness and cute things, I want a Jeff the Land Shark plushie.
I want a
I'm
Jeff Goldblum as seen in The Fly plushie.
Oh God.
Oh god. Oh my god.
Could you imagine?
I
No, I
don't
really
understand
can't.
why they have. I'm trying to force my imagination not to think about that kind of plushie on this thing. It's like, Jesus Christ. Oh my god, no. You see, there's this absolutely adorable character in Marvel Rivals, and they have not decided to capitalize on the adorableness of and popularity of that character for some reason.
Swarmers, stop that. Stop that, Swarmers. I do not want you going over
Except
there.
that it eats everyone and then jumps off a cliff.
Yeah, but he does that to the enemy team. For you, he's very cute and cuddly. You
Gosh,
know? It's just
darn
like...
it.
But there are a lot of people that actually play him as a passive participant, so they just heal. They never like use the ult attack.
Yeah.
Which I find adorable. And they are always playful against the enemy team.
So,
So they will just like do the emotes and wag their
imagine
tail
that,
because
Mom.
he does the wag tail thing.
But imagine that, Mom. A shark swimming through land that will eat the entire team and then jump off a cliff with the team in its belly.
Yep. And yeah, will spit them out off that cliff and eventually effectively.
Yeah.
This is Captain Market. We're on our way to assist you.
Satali says, I wonder if I can recreate Luna Snow in Stowe. I don't know who Luna Snow is. I'm sorry.
Luna Snow is also a Marvel character. She's a superhero who has the ability of ice, but also healing. She also is a K-pop singer.
Okay.
So that is the thing. And to give
Well,
you
the
a bit
problem-
of context, Mom.
I think the problem is her hair is not possible in Stowe.
Yeah, but you could
Why,
probably
what's
do
wrong with
something
her
close
hair?
to it.
Oh yeah, because it's half white, half black.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
The left side is white and the right side is black.
Yeah.
I
I mean, that's kind of Cruella de Vil vibe, but yeah.
That's the only real problem I see with creating the character is you
Yeah,
can't
we don't have a
really do the haircut.
yeah, we don't have a hair that's divided in half.
But we should, because we had that species that was half and half.
Oh yeah,
So I mean, it should be a half
but
and half
but
option.
that would mean they have to admit that that episode was Thing.
Well, it's not only a thing, but they even had one of the that species in section 31, which
No,
shouldn't
they
be.
don't.
Yes, they do in the background. And I think the
Uh,
Bart or the assistant.
do you remember the original plot?
Yeah, I do. That's the problem. That was one of my complaints. Is it shouldn't have been, because
I
allegedly they
know.
were all
No,
dead, and yet that pops up in section
I'm
31.
thinking he's not really that species.
Okay, that could be.
I'm accusing him of cultural appropriation.
Good, I'm done here.
Yeah, no. That was a clear matter of we didn't do our homework.
Yeah. Well, they didn't do their homework on a lot of that movie.
I watched a movie that had one funny joke in it.
An entire movie
The
for one
real
joke.
problem was at the end of the movie,
Yeah.
they tell you like this kid comes up to one of the protagonists and it's like, can you give me any advice for if I want to become an artist? And the guy just says, never have a plan B. End of movie. It's like, wait, that's what they're gonna end it on that message? Oh Lord.
Ah.
Oh Lord. Never have a plan B?
Well, sometimes they don't.
Yeah, but
Ooh. That's not what I wanted to see.
Just to
Okay.
give you context on what I'm talking about, this is Jeff.
and Jeff really is
Oh yeah.
a shark. Do.
Tell me that's not adorable.
It
Like,
is
what the
adorable.
hell? And he wags the tail like a puppy, and he does like all the spins, and he kind of has the behavior of a dog, but he also has like intelligence that helps him like do experiments. So he's kind of like a super intelligent shark. And yeah, so he's just the cutest thing ever. And I just don't understand why they have not yet released any merch that you can buy. I would buy a plushie Jeff the Land Shark any day. And he has these costumes when he's dressed as a dolphin, or when he's dressed.
Alrighty, let's see. This tune. Oh, Sankethy ships in space. Physical damage on the ground and repair shields in space on this one.
There. Looks like a puppy with a tongue.
I wonder if I should go in my new ship or
What's your
my
new ship?
previous ship. Did I even show the Thunderbird 3?
I don't think you have, unless I missed something. It might have been in an evening show, but
I,
not that I'm aware.
I made the Thunderbird 3. It's surprisingly good, even though it only carries like Cannon Scatter Volley 1.
Oh.
This is Talia. Speaking of your Jeff combat pet for the Borg on Defura, I cannot tell you how wonderful it is to have Stabby Badgie and the Borg on Defura. Stabby Badgie does not care what you were doing. It's running all over the map, stabbing everything.
So it's not even like sitting docile.
Oh, no,
when
no,
you're
no,
not
no,
in
no. It saw
combat.
Borg and
Just,
it went for it. It was
it's
over.
actively looking for Borg
Yes.
to kill. Nice.
Yeah.
Love it.
I see what Satalia said there, and I'm like, only if it's the Fantastic Four that had
Jessica
oh God,
Alba.
Jessica Alba as Sue Richards. Yes. No, I
There was a new one coming.
Yeah, there
with
is.
Fantastic Four.
yeah,
And I
Yeah,
like
there
the cat.
is.
the Marvels Marvel Rivals version is a version that is more in line with the new Sue Richards
I mean,
that
they
they
did
have.
their own thing, more comic
Well,
oriented.
she looks more like the actress who is going to play Sue
Does
Richards.
she though? I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
see the resemblance.
Sadly, I have not heard a lot of good stuff coming out about that movie,
No.
which,
I I saw a trailer. I looked at Ben Grimm and I was just like,
yeah,
I
yeah,
prefer the old looking
yeah.
effects. CGI isn't good for everything.
No, it somehow the movement and the body weight just don't look right.
It,
I still
it,
want to give them a chance. I like the actors in it.
Yeah, well,
I still want to give them a chance. I like Pedro Pascal. I
so do I.
absolutely adore Vanessa Kirby. I think they deserve a chance.
But yeah, do some practical effects. Speaking of Pedro Pascal, there's a new romance movie coming out. It's about a woman who's a matchmaker, and of course she's going to wind up with the character who is the poor waiter, waitress, whatever, and that's where she's going to find true love. But in the meantime, she's kind of going around with Pedro Pascal trying to find him a perfect mate. And I'm like, gosh darn it, he's so much more interesting and
I,
attractive than this
I
other guy.
wasn't that the movie The Wedding Planner
Maybe that is it.
or
Because at the
something?
moment they were showing the title of it in the theater is when the waiter came up to take my order. So I'm like, I want to see
No,
this
no, no,
movie.
so The Wedding Planner is an old movie that pretty much follows the same plot.
Right, but this is a matchmaker, and I want to say it's Dakota Johnson as the female lead, which is, I'm
I
sorry,
know, but
she can't
this
act.
sounds like your generic end
Yeah.
of the 90s
Oh
rom-com
yeah.
being remade.
Yeah.
What's the name of the combat badgie?
It's just Badgie.
Yeah,
But it specifies that
but
it's
it's
combat
purple
pet.
named.
Yeah.
It's purple named instead of blue.
Yeah,
The
the
the,
Badgie Mark,
the other badgie is Mark II.
and
Yeah.
it specifies very clearly that it's Badgie Mark II. Good morning, Chosen.
Wait, Mark II is the combat version?
No,
No.
it is not that. It's Mark II is only a blue.
Yeah.
Would you people stop killing these things? I need the ground damage, gosh darn it.
And go to the worms.
I already did worms. I didn't want to do
You got
worms.
Logiky, Badgie, and
Goodgie.
Guji.
Would you?
So there's Badgie,
And
Badgie Mark II, Goodgie, and Logicy.
and all of the non-combat should be banned from the game.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, I
I
get.
hate the drops,
No.
right? I just
I-
wasted 700 low buy on this, and this is a joke. Because I got
Yeah.
some of them,
Oh, you
all of
should
them
not.
twice.
Okay, you should not gamble lobby crystals to get the combat badgie.
But it's $1
You're
billion
better
on
off.
the exchange. Or billion
you're
EC on the
Yeah.
exchange. It's not worth $1 billion.
There are things more worth than like that.
You can
item
get a
should have
ship
a
for $1
limit.
billion.
Okay, but the chances
Duh.
of getting the combat badgie out of the low buy is so low that you're gonna spend more than
But if
low chip worth
It
of.
should not be a drop. Again, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It should not be a chance drop. Like,
I mean, if
have
it's
no
low
need
B,
for all of
double the
those.
price, and let's just buy it. And then people will still want to buy the Goodgies and the Logic Keys and the Badgie Mark IIs just because people like to have those things.
Yeah, I
I just
actually like
discarded all of them.
I
have no
like
need for them.
having the badgie Mark II and the combat badgie on me.
They're
Because
cute.
then, when I'm not in combat, I just have Badgie Mark II on. And when I'm in combat, I click my combat badgie.
Hmm.
Because they look identical,
Yeah.
I can have Badgie all the time.
Yeah, but Psychotic Badgie's so much fun. Now, I will occasionally go up and spend a couple lobby on a chance of it. I don't think I've got any Badgies on this tune, so...
Okay, so the idle animations of like Badgie Mark II and Combat Badgie are identical. They look identical. They're using the same animations, the same
Yeah, but I care only for
texture.
the combat badge. I don't care for the
I
visual
know, but
whatever.
if
Or
you save
Mark
at least
II.
one Badgie Mark II, you can have him up in and out of combat.
Let's see what I
Yeah, but I
got.
don't need them out of combat. I don't go and
Uh,
activate
But some
pets. I
people
have.
like them. Some people do
Yeah,
like
but
having, and it's
that's
fine
good for
that you.
them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I
I
just
should
opened
not
a
need to
Badgie Mark II,
gamble.
which I don't
Look,
need.
okay, so
people should not gamble with low buy. That gambling with low buy is that's a new thing, and that should immediately be like
it's
retracted and
not
removed.
new. It's just that the drop rates on the combat Badgie are
No, no,
much
no.
lower.
No item in low buy ever required you to have a chance of a drop. Something you
Yes,
opened from
all
low buy
pets do.
until Badgie
Just
came around
put them
was
all out
guaranteed.
there, and let
And- and-
charge double or triple for a combat Badgie.
Yeah, but
Let
Yeah.
everybody
the
buy
the
it.
thing is,
Yeah.
all pets have that gamble system.
No, they
It's
don't.
just that the combat badgie is especially egregious because the chances are not as high as,
How do
for
other
say,
pets have that? With okay, maybe dogs
The
and
only
cats and stuff, but
difference,
yeah,
the only
no,
difference from the other items, but they're all non-combat pets.
yeah, you're gonna get a
I
Combat
know,
non-combat
pets.
pet. I think you should be able
there,
to just outright buy your combat badgies.
yeah, I do feel that because it's a combat pet, it should have been a separate
It should be, yeah.
purchase for
And on
more lobby and
the other ones, the drop rate's pretty equal. I get about the same number of Mark IIs as I do Goodies and Logikies.
yeah.
Badgie should have been a dilithium purchase. That's legit too.
But when you get like number one or the basically any of the animal pets have a rare.
Yeah,
That
but
rare
they don't. They're not
is
combat
a
badge.
gamble. No,
Right,
but it's still a gamble. Is mine.
right. But it's so, because this is completely different in that it is a weapon.
Yeah, yeah, I
Having to
know.
gamble to get a weapon, I think, stinks. Admittedly, you're doing that when you're doing upgrades and things like that too. Would anybody like to join me for? And good morning to you, Skeptic Taco Batman. I hope you're having a good
The
day.
difference with gambling a weapon though is you already have the weapon,
Yeah.
and so yeah,
Would
and
anybody like to
gambling
do
for the
Zenkethi Front with me before I go back to bed?
Yeah.
um uh, oof, that's quite a front. I found a mom.
Okay, Satalia is passing on that. I will kick you from the team. Musin, do you want to join us for Zenkethi Front?
I don't even know if my ship can handle that, but
Okay.
sure.
Sure. Like that's ever stopped us.
Right.
Well, if you never stop me.
Go. How much Zen does it cost when you have 4 days left of progress for the event? That's a really good question because I don't think I have a buyout on it option right now.
600?
Yeah, something like that. Oh, it's not Zen anyway. It's Lobby, isn't it?
Uh, no, it's the regular event
Oh, it's regular.
campaign.
Okay.
So it's them. Lobby is summer and winter event.
Right,
ship.
right. Yeah, I think it's in that range, 600, 500. It's not a lot on the last few days.
Well,
So
I
it's-
know that the daily amount and the
Mhm.
amount you get for the last day
Yeah.
are not the same. The amount you get for the last day is a tad higher
Oh.
than like the daily amount that you reduce the total
Mhm.
with.
I get rage.
How many days are left in the event anyway?
Oh, it's up to the 20th, so that's another 7 days.
Why is it Lobby and not Zen for the summer and winter events? I don't know.
Because of the ship. And
Oh.
they wanted to try and like reduce the amount of people that are just gonna buy out the ship instantly, so they get event participation and activity in the game. Because if it was a Zen ship,
Hmm.
people would quickly buy that out and not participate in the event at all.
Yeah, a lot of people have the Lobby and they'll buy it out anyway. I mean, you
True,
get you get
but
the
getting
guys.
Lobby is, and the price in Lobby, oh my God. Mm, they make it very expensive.
I'm queuing us up for Zen Kathy Front so I can go back to bed. No show tonight because I have a dinner party to go to for Mother's Day
Oh,
and my
well,
So
son's
it's
I
fine,
guess
it's
birthday.
fine.
I'll save the one-eyed Mecha Moopsy for next time.
Citalia says not everyone has Zen though. That's true, but not everyone has Lobby either.
Yeah, if you don't
Yeah,
have
and
Zen, you mostly don't have Lobby either.
Yeah, because that's the only way to get Lobby really is to open up lock boxes.
or the
And,
R&D boxes.
and everybody can have enough Zen to buy it out. Not everybody has enough Lobby to buy it out, because even if you do spend Zen and get Lobby, having enough to buy it out is still quite a
Yeah,
substantial amount of Lobby.
still requires you to waste money on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
and this
the thing
this
is
ensures
both summer
the
and winter events
activity.
have a stupid easy thing you can do every day. And I mean stupid easy. And if you really don't like
Yeah,
playing it, do
but
like the archaeological thing, because that one you
the,
can bank and just turn in whenever you want to.
the reason that they make it so hard to buy out the summer and winter event ships is so that people participate and get all these little currencies that make the economy go. If they make it Zen, a lot more people are going to buy it out, not participate. We'll have less favors and less ornaments and earmuffs and stuff on the exchange in total.
Yeah, the thing with favors and ornaments, all those things, is that this is not queuing up to go. Um, they're the only way to get a lot of the
Other
specialty
stuff.
events, specialty things like the Ryza kits and all that good stuff. And then
Yeah.
you have people like me who I looked at it the other day and I have 149,000 favors ready to go. Is it 149,000? Yeah, about
Holy.
149,000.
Wow.
Well,
So I'm
Someone's been
all set.
busy on the event.
you have a problem? Do we need to stage an intervention?
I really love the summer event. I mean, I really love it. I enjoy it a
Uh,
lot. And I'm actually having to plan a
No,
trip out of town, and I'm supposed to be in July, and I'm like, can we do it maybe in June?
I've known for years that when the summer event starts and I need to get the items for like the fleet project,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm knocking on your door again, Mom, because
Wee woo?
you have the favors
yeah,
and
but we will.
Oh, no, yeah.
and the ornaments and everything
Actually,
stacked.
we don't have that many ornaments. We keep those in one of the fleets, and I was looking at the other day because a lot of people have come to me because they need stuff during the course of the year, and we hand them out. That's what they're there for. That's why I have
Yeah.
149,000 favors.
Yeah.
So, hey, I do need the rainbow triple. No problem. Here you go. I do need this kit. No problem. Here you go.
Yeah, the kit's pretty expensive. The rainbow tribble is easy though.
Yeah, well, the kit's only like
Look, Mom,
1,000 or
I have
1,500.
the Thunderbird 3.
You do have the Thunderbird 3. I see it right there.
It even looks like it.
Yeah, so tell me when the summer event rolls around and you need favors, you know who to ask. And I'm sure they named it named them favors because of the less than subtle thing. Oh, Rizian favors.
We know it's a currency.
Oh, good. My teammate has a bomb. Yeah, sometimes Cryptic could be subtle as a bag of hammers.
To be fair, some people need Cryptic to be as subtle as that.
bag of hammers. Yeah.
I mean, true, but like,
There you go.
I got a bomb.
Yep. Do you need some help?
I don't know.
All right, there you are. I'll go
The
over and
flow
help you.
usually hide beneath the thing and they don't see me.
I'll go draw some fire over here. Oh, you got Musin with us too, so. Let's see, so Satalia's saying Moopsy Pet this summer. That would be fun. One thing I think DECA should do for all these events is make sure you've got not just space events, but for those of us who like ground events, give a ground one. This Tholian thing, I would have been happy to have done Transcendental Tactics rather than doing Azure Nebula every single day, or the Vault every single day. Now that I'm into the dilithium phase of it, my brain's like, ugh, dilithium. So I'm going to wait until after 12 when they start the dilithium event so I can get the extra dilithium today. Extra dilithium.
I love that I destroyed it, but it materialized now and it's still sitting here. Physical object at this station.
But if you look on the map, the mini-map, where you bring up, click on M, it should be off the map. It does rematerialize, but it's off the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. There should always be... Well, the Transcendental would have been a TFO option. But always give us, you know, an easier version where maybe we have to do 2 of them. Or give us a mission option. So for Tholians, what's a good Tholian ground mission, if there is one? Is there one? Oh, yeah! Down on New Romulus, there's the cave that's got the Tholians in it. That would have been a fun one to do. It's relatively quick, it's a little more interesting, and it's ground. That would have given you an option.
What's up, Fluffer? Well, you need to make your bed. That's my bed, by the way.
Who's got the bomb?
I got one.
Who's got the bomb?
There's one just floating here.
We
Okay.
need to blow away.
I've got a bomb. I'm going to the northernmost of the 2 here. But yes, Satalia, I think that I will put together a nice letter to them. Nice polite letter going, hey! As a devoted fan and longtime player, these are some recommendations we have for you. Suggestions, ideas, helpful hints.
What? Sorry, I was just
Helpful
distracted by
hints on, you know, making events more playable, getting more people engaged and less ticked off. Though, you know, there's a whole thing going on about the forums. I'm glad they got rid of the forum, or are getting rid of the forum. I can blow up this base if somebody wants to come up here and take care of these guys. I've got a bomb. Chris, you died. You're supposed to die, Chris.
Put my hands on the keyboard.
How dare you? See if I can launch it now. Satalia has epic tokens. Congratulations. There we go. It's dead.
You better now, Fluffers?
Is the Voth Rampart Command Flight Deck Carrier a good ship? Yes and no. It's actually quite a nice ship. I like it. It is a carrier. That means it moves and handles like a brick. So if you like to fly things and dart in and out and get maneuverable, no, it's not. If you don't mind going in there and being capable of taking hit after hit after hit after hit while launching your pets, that was great.
Okay.
Which ship?
The Voth Rampart.
Yeah,
That's the
Command the
version of the
Miracle
Voth.
Worker seeding. It's okay.
Yeah,
It's
it's
So
got
that's a tier 6 of the flight deck cruiser?
yeah, I think so.
it's got good engineering console layout. So if you're gonna use the advanced engineering consoles for a pet build, it is actually pretty decent. Its seating though is okay. I'm not so sure the Miracle Worker is the best option, but
Let's see. Of all the ships that are there under Epic, obviously my first vote is always the Bajoran Interceptor if you don't already have it, because that's so essential for a lot of things. No, because you need the console off of it. But as for the rest of them,
let me see, an epic ship, huh?
now they have the Bentham Assault Cruiser. I don't know that one at all.
The
Benton
That's
Assault is the
not-
one that flies backwards?
I don't know. It says it's
not
new.
that amazing a ship.
No,
Yeah,
Benton isn't new.
it's new to the Phoenix store.
Okay.
That was actually in Mud's Market, I
Was it?
think.
Yeah,
I
they've
just don't
introduced
know
it
it.
recently to the Mud's Market, but the ship actually... I mean,
No,
it's
It
confusing
wasn't a
and it's...
Mud Market for like years.
I mean, nothing really... I mean, outside of maybe some ships that are worth it, but most of the stuff is like, whatever.
Yeah. For epics, I usually just break them down into smaller components, with the exception of I make sure I've got that Bajoran ship, which for me I got mostly during the events.
I actually save the epic tokens for when there's an actual sale and they put up the X upgrades.
Yeah, it's a great use for them.
I try to save my epics and ultra rares when I don't need to use those.
I'm gonna go back to bed. Actually, no, that's not true. I'm gonna go feed the dogs, let them out, and I'm going back to bed. So, on behalf of everybody here at Welcome to the Moopsyverse, have a better morning than I'm gonna go have, because it's gonna be a really long day. And then the really fun part is when I get to go tell the guy that, hey, I'd like to pay for this with a credit card, because he's like, but there's an extra charge for that. That's fine. I get so many free hotel rooms out of getting the house painted for on a credit card, I don't care. That's going to be a conversation. Anyway,
Okay.
I should be back tomorrow morning. Everybody have a wonderful day. And as we like to say around here, stay moopsy.
Moopsy.
Shun the non-believer. Shun.
There we go. That's how it should
And I
sound.
will make it a threesome.
Do you even hear yourself?
Thank you.